Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Hot for Justice.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm TVU.
And I'm NV Jitters.
And we're back here today. It's time. We're in the. Are we in the middle of our number threes? Did we do number three last week, or was this is our first number three?
We're in the middle of our number threes, I think.
Yours is our first number three. We picked this one.
Okay.
We picked this one, because we'd already seen it. This is Chibi's number three. Chibi, what's your number three?
My number three is Gekon Shoujo Nozaki-Kun, or as it's translated to in English, Monthly Girls Nozaki-Kun, which is a slice of life romance comedy anime about a girl who tries to confess to her crush, who's a boy from another class. And when she tries to confess to him, she basically, instead of saying, "I like you, will you go out with me?" she says, "I'm a really big fan of yours." So he interprets that as meaning she is a fan of his, and he gives her his autograph. And in doing so, she ends up finding out, along with going back to his apartment, he asks her to help assist him with baiting some panels for his manga for the month. That he is actually a mangaka, and the series basically consists of them and their friends doing a bunch of crazy, hilarious shenanigans, basically making manga chapters for monthly publishing magazine, and just a lot of hilarity, really. That's probably like the shortest summary I can probably come up with for this show.
I mean, it's a pretty episodic show, so yeah, a short summary is pretty much the way it goes. I mean, we could get into story, but it's like it's good. There's no big plot to it, other than I guess.
I mean,
is Chio gonna confess her feelings for real?
Yeah, so there are a couple of overarching sort of plot things that kind of go throughout the series. And this is even more so in the manga, because I've actually been reading the manga. I still don't have volume 8 yet! Ah! Anyway.
I'm sorry? I don't know if that's one of our faults.
No, it's not your fault.
Envy, did you do something?
Clearly.
It's the wood pulp shortage is what I am blaming this whole thing on. Because, you can't publish books if you don't have wood pulp to make the paper. Mm-hmm. So, some overarching things are, again, Chio and her crush on Nozaki and her not being able to confess to him, but still kind of, really enjoying just sort of spending time with him, working on the manga, so it's not really anything that's really on the forefront of her mind all the time, because she gets to spend time with him regardless. Another couple of overarching things are kind of like the pairings that we kind of got going on the side, who are Seo and Waka, who are a insane girl who apparently sings really well, and a boy from the basketball team who apparently dislikes her, but also kind of likes her. His feelings are complicated.
He's in love with whoever it is at the Glee Club who sings so well, but he also absolutely hates the Seo person because they're clearly not the same person.
Yes.
It's one of those things.
Yes. And then
it's what is it? It's You Got Mail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Hanks.
And then the other pairing that we have that's sort of, more prominent in the series is Hori Senpai and Kashima, who are, Hori Senpai is basically president of the drama club, and Kashima is basically the school prince, who is also a girl. Basically, she plays the prince in all of their plays, and is very flirty with all the other girls in the school. And Hori Senpai basically casts her as the prince in every single play because he really likes her face. So... those are just a couple of things that I can really think of off the top of my head. What does everyone else think about this series? Because y'all have all watched it already.
Who would like to go first? I'll go first. Worst damn romance I've ever seen. Toradora for life. End thing. Next. I'm kidding. No, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And the characters are off the bat likable, which is fantastic because otherwise I would hate the series. The different dynamics with like Chio being like this innocent but very energetic and like ready to go kind of personality mixed with Nozaki's like very just stoic. I gotta tell you, bland but in a hilarious way. Kind of demeanor. You got you didn't mention
Mika Shiba.
Mika, yeah. They call him Mika Rin.
Mika Rin.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the cool guy, I guess.
The cool playboy.
Like, yeah, the cool playboy, but literally anytime he says anything flirty, he gets super embarrassed by it. And like
yeah, it's super funny.
He's like he has probably
he has the worst secondhand embarrassment I have seen of any character ever.
I think that he's a character with extreme social anxiety who has the greatest mask for it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it works out great. And he's apparently the inspiration for Nozaki's heroine in his manga, so that's hilarious.
Yep.
He doesn't know that. But yeah, and you also have, like you were saying, Hori and Kashima are great. They're violent, but they're great.
Oh yeah, it's basically Looney Tunes slapstick with those two all the time.
Yeah. And I really like Waka and Seo for some reason. I don't know what it is about. It's that combo of like chaotic evil and lawful good that you just like smush them together, and for some reason that's just a good pairing.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Next.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just really enjoy the characters in this, and their dynamics together are always so funny, whether it's like the romantic pairings or just the friendships. I really like when they're just hanging out and doing nothing. Like, one of my favorite episodes was that one where Mika Rin and Nozaki-Kun are like playing a visual novel.
Yes.
And they get so invested. It was hilarious.
And part of it is like, I didn't mention this about Nozaki, is like he overanalyzes everything because he's trying to use basically anything in life as inspiration for his manga. So he's playing a video game, and like at first they're like, here, so, you know, play as yourself. He doesn't date people or do anything, so his like answer to every question is like, no, go away, I don't care, whatever. And it doesn't get him any dates. It's like, so I can't be me. Well, be your character from your manga or whatever. And like he's like, no, I can love no one but this one person. It's like, dude, just so but eventually they're like, and I thought this was hilarious too. This is like this very weird thing of like, there's always that character in the visual novel who like gives you information or something about the girls that they could go on route, that you can go on routes with or whatever else. And it's always like they're ever present, but they never have a story themselves. And they're like fascinated. And like they never thought about it up until that point where it's like, why is he helping us so much? And like eventually it just gets to the point where they're trying to figure out if there's a route for the best friend, and he doesn't get an ending, and they have to write him his own.
It themselves.
Yes.
Because,
but then,
bro.
But then they're like, no, we can't publish this because gay marriage is not legal in Japan, because most shoujo manga end in a marriage.
Yeah.
But
still, you know what? They're gonna keep that for themselves. Like, bro needed a happy ending, and bro is gonna get a happy ending.
Yeah, I will honestly say that is actually probably my favorite part of the series, was watching like them play that game and Chio coming in, and she just sees like what ended up happening, and she's like, what is going on here?
It was so good.
It was so funny.
I can't leave you two alone, can I?
No.
Can we, like, well, you know what, I'll go into like the details of some of the other things, but like let's have everybody else talk about their stuff that they liked or disliked. I don't know. Were there dislikes here? There we go.
I think we can all name one dislike.
What's a dislike?
The end of the series.
Oh, well, we'll get there.
I think that's my only real dislike.
So who's next?
Gav.
One of you go.
Don't make me don't make me force you.
Well, I don't really have much different to say than what's already been said. All I know is that I watched this like years ago, and it was I just remember really enjoying it, and I cosplayed Mikorin.
I mean, yeah, because I cosplayed Chio with you.
Yeah, but I cosplayed Mikorin I think at 2 different conventions. But I want to do him again because he's just such a relatable character to me. Because I can relate to saying things that make myself super embarrassed afterwards. Why did I say that? But I don't know. I just think he's very funny. He's my favorite character for sure, and I don't know. I like everyone else said. I just really enjoy all the different characters, and their dynamics together, and yeah, it's one of those anime that's very easy to make jokes out of the things that happen. It's kind of like inside jokes in an anime. I don't really know how to describe it any other way, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it a lot. I think it was one of my recommended runner-ups for our top 5, because it's just always had such a big I don't know, I just enjoy it a lot, and it's something that I could watch over again and actually like it probably no matter when I watch it in my life, no matter what's going on or what happens. Some anime I grow out of, but this one is one where I just could, watch it over and over again and still like it, so...
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think there's a really feel-good quality to this anime. I feel like if I was really sad or just any mood, I could watch this anime.
It's kind of like comfort food.
Yeah, it's like comfort food.
Yeah, I definitely would describe this as my comfort anime because I actually remember being real depressed at the beginning of this year for varying reasons. And this was kind of the only thing that was actually lightening my mood at all. So,
yeah.
Envy, thoughts.
I don't even know if I want to say what I think because now that everyone loves this show, I don't want to be the.
Did you hate it?
Oh no!
No. I liked it. I didn't love it like you guys. Oh, well, here's the thing.
That's fine.
Let me explain my situation. The only other time I watched this was back in 2016 in our anime club in college, and back then I was still relatively new to anime, and the only other quote-unquote slice of life shows I've seen was Ouran High School Host Club and Nichijou, and obviously both of those shows have pretty, well, not out there premises, but they're very out there in terms of their comedy, whereas this show, obviously, is a little bit more out there than traditional slice of life shows, but it's not as zany as those other two. So I was really enjoying it in the beginning, and I liked the dynamics between Nozaki and Chio and, all the other different characters. I will admit, as the show went on, and this isn't just for this show, I wasn't laughing at the jokes as much as the episodes went on. I tend to notice that with a lot of Japanese comedies where the jokes I think are funnier in the beginning episodes, but then at the end, for some reason, I don't laugh as hard at them. But then years later, I've obviously seen more anime, including more slice of life, and I saw the mini OVA episodes that they showed. They were 3 6-minute episodes where they took a beach trip, and I was laughing my ass off in all of those clips because I forgot how much charming the characters were and the situations they put them in. So I almost feel like I need to rewatch the show, given how I am about anime now and my tastes, to really appreciate it. Because, yeah, I did enjoy the characters for the most part, and I guess there were just some jokes that didn't land for me towards the end. But I didn't hate it, and don't get me wrong, I can totally see why you four love it, because it is a very charming show. And also, speaking of things we love, can we talk about the OP?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Like, I have this song on my phone, comes on. I literally will sometimes just put it on repeat because I'm like, yeah, I'm in my car. Let's just go.
Yep.
Granted, I don't know what an exploding Tanuki has to do with the show, but that's just anime.
Did you not finish it?
Did you? Oh, there's a thing with the Tanuki in some of the episodes.
Yeah.
I must have forgot.
It was the other manga
mean,
writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She only appears every once in a while, so.
Yeah. It's like Nozaki's former editor's not a good editor, and he's working on some other writer, and he keeps saying, like, you need to put more Tanukis in your manga, till it's like it's almost nothing but like Tanukis in every panel, and it kind of is ruining her magazine. But she's not being like, hey, she can't like stand up for herself.
Yeah, she just lets it happen.
Yeah, so the intro's like, fuck Tanukis, man.
Yeah.
Fuck Tanukis and fuck him. Yeah, no, what I actually found interesting is that they went with an OVA instead of just making it a 13-episode series. Like, I feel like had they like added like 2 to 3 more minutes, which you could have just pulled from a couple more panels from the manga, I feel like you could have made those OVAs into just a episode 13. I don't know why they did it like that.
So, I feel like because of where the manga like came out, not like the released time for it, so there is a little bit extra material in the manga, as Al, you know, because you've read it up to volume 7. So episode, like, what is it, 11 or 12, goes all the way to around the end of volume 4, and the beach chapter isn't until, I believe, volume 5.
Okay.
So they probably added that onto the end, only because they're like, oh, this is a volume that is out that we wanted to put chapters in for, and we didn't want to put it somewhere weird. Probably because at that point they hadn't gotten to August yet, which is when the summer vacation month is supposed to be.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
So they're still following the school year as they're going through the series.
All right.
And plus that it's the beach episode, so you don't really need plot. You just gotta have fun at the beach, and that's basically what those shorts are, just shenanigans at the beach.
Well, like I said, like there's not a lot of plot going on. You have plot as far as like, how is everyone's relationship and how are the pairings developing, but like there's not like we're gonna be breaking up a major dramatic arc with a beach episode kind of deal going on here. It's you really pop it in anywhere. But I mean, if they're trying to follow the school year, I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because it kind of starts off like sort of around, I want to say April, May-ish at the beginning of the series, and around the time where it ends, at least with the anime, it's around, I want to say, somewhere between like June and August. Because there's festivals going on, so that's just a thing. And granted, we've gone through maybe like a couple of chapters that Nozaki's worked on in this time frame, so I don't really know if it's being completely consistent, but usually he's working on the next chapter for the month, like at least like once every 2 to 3 episodes, I want to say.
Are they getting credit? I feel like I know they probably like are, but like they never really mentioned if like Chio was getting like a little bit of like a name drop in like the little credit list or something at the beginning of his chapters or anything, or anyone for that matter.
I mean, as far as I know, as far as manga is concerned, when I look at like credits and publishing things, I don't really think they mention anyone other than like the creator of the series themselves. Everyone else is mostly an assistant. unless it's someone else who like wrote the story and then someone else is doing all the illustrations and art for the panels. Because usually assistants, at least for manga, aren't really mentioned, and I know a lot of times with making a manga, it requires like a team of people and not just the one person.
Right.
So
I don't know. I feel like maybe he could pay them a little bit or something.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but I also don't know if it's kind of just like they're all a team of high schoolers and it's just kind of like they're all banding together kind of thing. I'm not sure. Maybe they're using this as like an extracurricular activity.
I know they are, but Nozaki is being paid for his work. I
mean, I would feel like he has to, considering the fact that he is paying for that apartment on his own.
Yeah, he's a published author. Like, he's being published monthly in a magazine. I feel like he's getting a paycheck from these people. You know, maybe share the love a little bit. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
like, yeah, you do all my backgrounds and you add my my special effects for the things. Here's a thumbs up. That's your payment. That's like I'm gonna get my money. It's like, you know, I don't know. I'm probably thinking about this too much. Like, I'm going a little too deep.
I agree.
Pay people for their work. Pay artists for their work.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah. God, what else? What was everybody's favorite bits from this? I know you mentioned the video game.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm trying to think, what was
the horse?
The horse with
the horse.
Kashima and it was a bull.
Yeah, the bull. My bad. Bull.
The bull. That was a fantastic scene.
That was good.
Why?
And then she just tears off the bull head. Oh, because Hori Senpai passed out.
Yeah, but why did she put on the bull head?
Because so he could be the prince and he was riding a steed. And she was the steed.
Okay.
But they didn't have a horse head, so she put on the bull head that they had in the back room.
I
and
see.
She just like carried him on her back in piggyback style. And he woke up in the middle of the ride and was like, what the fuck is going on?
So Kashima's basically saying, ride me, Hori, ride me.
I mean, if that's your interpretation,
it
okay.
100% was. You know, I'll say, there was like a kind of a funny running joke of like, whatever was going on there with like, Kashima really is not good at picking up on people's signals. Like, I don't know that Nozaki is either. They're a lot alike in that regard, but like, yeah, she keeps misinterpreting everything, because Hori works with Nozaki doing like his background art and stuff, but Kashima doesn't know about that, and they don't want to tell Kashima, because if they do and she starts coming around, they're going to bring like a whole gaggle of groupies with her. So they're like, yeah, no, let's not do that. But she's like gone like to so many different extremes of like, he's dating Nozaki, or
yeah.
he owes him money of some kind, or like I think at one point it was something along the lines of like they were like looking at costumes or something and like, which one do you think would look better? And he was like going back and forth. It's like, oh, I get it. I'm always the prince because Hori wants to be the princess. And he just like she just starts like hiding like women's clothes in his locker for him. It's like, this would look great on you, blah blah blah. And like I like at the end, like he eventually puts all the pieces together. He's like, you know what, I hate to admit this, but it was actually a really cute outfit she put together. Actually, I'm almost wondering, was that in the manga?
No, it's both.
Okay, so
it's
that
both.
wasn't. Okay. I was like, I watched it, then read all the manga, like one right after the other, so they're mixing together a little bit for me. I don't know, maybe they're my favorite of the groups.
I mean, I can honestly see out of all of the couples, like, maybe them sort of being the ones that get together first, because Hori Senpai would be the one graduating first out of everyone, so they kind of have to wrap up their relationship a little more quickly. But that's just my opinion.
That is true.
So in the manga, nobody has gotten together yet?
Not yet. Well, not where I'm at.
Oh, wow.
So, as far as I can tell from the summaries that I have read on the back, Waka and Sei are kind of like, sort of, like, they're not quite there yet, but it's getting there.
They were teasing it really hard in the seventh one.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Spoiler for anyone who wants to read. Because they're not getting a second season for some fucking reason. There's more than enough.
Anyway, Hori and Kashima, like, their plot line's still sort of ongoing right now. Although we do get introduced to Kashima's sister, who from the little bits that I skimmed while I was just going through the book, I guess she ships it. Anyway, and then obviously we can't have Chiyo and Nozaki get together until the fucking end. So, of course, that's still very much in limbo.
Is Nozaki a year ahead of Chiyo?
No.
I don't know why I thought that.
So, I guess it's because he just looks a lot older, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, because if he was a year older than her,
I guess
she would call him senpai. Yeah. And they are in the same year.
Okay.
Also, they met, and Nozaki doesn't remember this, they met the day of the opening ceremony where Chiyo was running late, and he was running late, and Nozaki just really freaking wanted the ribbon. So Chiyo just took out one of her own hair ribbons, gave it to him, and then they went about their day, but Nozaki fell asleep and couldn't remember where he'd gotten the little ribbon from. And Chiyo had redone her hair with the one white ribbon that she had, and her hairstyle after that moment became what the heroine for his manga's hairstyle would be.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
That was the manga's version of the story. The anime's version of the story is, like, again, and this is the same thing, it happens in both of them. He helps her over the fence, and her hair is already in that style. But he just subconsciously remembers what it looks like, and it ends up becoming Mamiko's hairstyle in the manga. So.
Oh, that's nice, though.
Yeah, I'm like, good, he remembers her. I'm hoping this, at some point, if she goes with that hairstyle again, he'll remember that it was her. And I really hope that would, like, spark something in him or something. I don't know. I'm just really hoping that at some point he realizes he has feelings for her, or that there's something there, even if it's, like, not romantic love. It's more like he has, like, just a genuine affection for her. But anyway,
I think at a certain point he has to.
I don't know. Boys kinda, I don't know. Like, he hasn't really shown any interest in anyone at all since the beginning of the manga.
I do kind of question that. Like, is he, like, asexual or something? Or...
I don't know. It hasn't been said. I mean, I wouldn't
possibly,
mind.
which is weird. He does, like, romance novels, but has no interest at all in romance, it feels like.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to him, like, being asexual as a character, because, that would only make sense, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. What's everyone else's favorite moments?
I mean, I always liked the, I think my favorite parts were, the ones where everyone gathers in Nozaki's room to work on the manga. I always thought they always had fun interactions there. And I forget her name, the one that everyone thinks is a boy. What was her name again?
Kashima.
Yeah, I always liked whenever people would assume that she's a boy, and then she just kind of just like, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. I could tell him I'm a girl, but it's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it took like Hori 2 years to figure out that was. Yeah.
Took a while.
No, it took him like maybe a month.
I think it was longer than that. It felt like, I don't know.
They showed a flashback sequence but Kashima was still a first year at that time.
Right.
So it didn't take him 2 years.
Okay,
it took him a bit.
Second year now.
Yes. None of them are seniors, except for Hori-senpai.
Okay.
And he is a third year.
Right.
So.
I'm trying to think what else to talk about. Did everyone say their favorite parts yet? Or do we have a holdout? I feel like, is there a holdout?
A what?
It's someone who didn't do it, a holdout.
I mean, like I said before, I like the part with the video game. Another one of my favorites was the, what was it? That one where he got sick. That episode was pretty funny, too. And they had to, like, do the manga all by themselves.
Yeah, and it ended up being really bad. And he's like, I'm gonna need an extension on my deadline.
Yeah, I love that episode.
I think it's funny when they're like, the body remembers, and then he tries to draw, and
it's garbage.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's drawing blind! He's he's terrible. The timing, the show's timing is, like, I think really good, and it's also helped with, like, they have a really good dub. Like, I gotta give a lot of points to the cast.
Yeah.
That and, like, I don't know, I didn't watch the sub, so I don't know exactly what all of the jokes were, but, like, I think they translated over or reworked all the jokes perfectly for the dub, because I'm not, like, finding anywhere I'm like, okay, there's, like, a lost in translation moment. I'm not getting it. Like, yeah, the majority of these jokes all land.
Which is good, because there are a lot of times where comedy animes do not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like the anime better than the manga. Not that the manga's not good. It is good. It's a basis for a good anime as well. I think it's just, with the manga, it's 4-panel manga, so everything is just, like, one page, like, establishment, setup, build up, joke, or punchline, and then repeat. So it's, like, it's not, like, a story, but you can get a story in the anime, and they do all the jokes and the gags and stuff, but I think it flows a little better because it's not as start and stop. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because the panels are, again, what you said, set up, punchline at the end, but the episodes just all kind of flow, and because they're not on separate pages, it flows better from one moment to the next. Yeah.
Yeah, they can just, like, go, like, one into the other, into the next, and the next, and they can build upon the previous joke in a way that I don't think the manga could as much. I don't remember laughing as hard at the manga as I did at the anime.
I think it's mostly just probably because it's, like, each little section of 4 panels, like, gets its own little title, so it kind of makes it its own little thing in that current scene. So, yeah, it is a bit weird.
Yeah. Being said, they got enough manga to make a second season at this point. I feel like, I don't know, how successful was the first season? It was a lot of fun to me. I really...
like I've said before, anime isn't told... The success of anime really isn't, at least in Japan, the success is based on 2 things for Japan. 1, Blu-ray sales, and 2, how well it pushes the sales of its source material if it's an adaptation, because anime is, like, done through production committees, not even just, like, the anime studios themselves half the time don't even know what they're working on. Production committees will assign a studio a production, and they'll just do that. So it's really the higher ups that choose whether or not to continue an anime or not. So it's one of those things where maybe it didn't sell that well over there. Maybe they just didn't want to do another season. Who knows?
So the thing is at the time that it was being made, they had only had about, I want to say, maybe 5 volumes out at the time in Japan. So, and the anime only really covered volumes 1 through 4. So it is the amount of material, but I feel like so much time has passed since the anime has come out that I don't really feel like that they think it would be lucrative to actually go ahead and make more of the series at this point.
Well, I hope they change their mind, because it's now on Netflix, and that's how I found it and enjoyed it. And, you know, maybe that'll boost the sales enough that they're like, wow, there's suddenly some renewed interest in this thing. We should do a season 2, because we have enough material for 3 seasons at this point.
I feel like you found it because we all talked about it, not because it was on Netflix.
I was seeing it on Netflix.
You think you would have watched it?
Maybe. I don't know. I did watch it because you said it was funny.
Yeah.
But
there's been plenty of anime that people have been wanting sequels for years. That's just one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, but sometimes it happens, like with Durarara. That took forever to get a second season, but it did. But like 7 or 8 years later.
Madoka, 10 years, man.
Madoka, yeah. So never say never, I guess.
I'm thinking if there was a time, maybe it's now.
We'll see.
Start working on it. And that way we can, we can ignore the ending. Do we want to talk about the ending?
Oh, yeah. So, anyone who doesn't want spoilers at this point, who hasn't seen it, leave. Please. Because we're about to go into how the series ends. Or at least this season. So how it ends is that they are at a festival, everyone's running around having fun. Chiyo and Nozaki end up sitting on top of a set of monkey bars, or jungle gym, or whatever it's called, in order to watch the fireworks.
Yeah, because Nozaki's only there for the, to take, pictures of people in, their kimonos and that, and, the stalls and everything, because he wants to, use it as inspiration for a chapter.
Yeah, he wants to use background reference and things and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so they're there, they're watching. He goes and says, he really likes something, and Chio's like, did he just say that he likes me? And she's like, what? I couldn't hear you.
It was prompted because she, when the fireworks started, she was like, I like you, Nozaki. And that's when he leans in and he's like, I really likes fireworks too.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? I don't remember that from the sub, because I didn't watch the dub.
It's you don't hear it well, but you can tell she's...
Is that what she says?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can tell she's, confessing again, because, it's the perfect moment. They're sitting alone on top of the world with, fireworks everywhere, but he couldn't hear her right. And then... So, yeah, he automatically assumes, oh, she's not interested in me. She's interested... Look at these fireworks. They're amazing. I love fireworks, too. Fuck you, man.
Yeah, that really irritated me all those years ago when I watched it, because...
Yeah.
I was like, you serious, man? She was right there, confessing, and you had to pull that shit.
Well, he can't fucking hear her.
Yeah.
I know. It's not the first time fireworks have fucked up something in an anime, but that's definitely the first time I've ever seen it.
What are you gonna do? At least everybody had fun at the festival.
I guess she took it in strides, because she was probably thinking, oh, this is the idiot I love, mistaken my confession for a confession of liking fireworks.
I was just about to say, yeah, who likes someone like that? And then it reminds me of whenever she was describing her crush to him, and he goes, he sounds awful.
Yeah. He even comments about himself. He's like, oh, why do you even like this guy? He sounds bleh.
Yeah.
And she's just like, no, but he's actually really nice. He gave me his autograph. And he's like, again, what's so great about him?
Yeah.
I gave you my autograph. I don't see you liking me. Dumbass.
Wah, wah.
It's frustrating but entertaining.
It is. It really is.
Trying to think, what else is there?
The other pairings?
Right, the other pairings. We talked about Kashima a little bit, and Hori, and Chiyo Nozaki. What about Waka and Seo?
I just think they're hilarious.
Yeah. Again, they're the chaotic evil, constantly hanging around the lawful good. Like,
Oh, she asks him to go to the movies with her.
Yeah, and apparently she has terrible theater etiquette.
Yes.
That's a pet peeve of mine. But, yeah.
And apparently they were watching the movie, and he was really focusing on the, like, really heartfelt romantic parts, and she was focusing on the aliens and destruction.
Yeah, well, like, what movie were they going to see that, like...
I don't know.
That those are there in equal measure.
You know there's always a B plot to those kind of movies.
I know, but it's usually... sucks.
Well, he liked it. I don't know.
All right. I don't know. She might have had the right idea.
Maybe.
It's all about the brains exploding, man. I don't know. I think they're fun. It's hard to describe them because it's just like if I were to like put it into words, it almost feels like a bully victim situation.
Yes.
But it's I have to stress, it is not that. Despite on paper it probably does look like that.
Oh.
I don't know. She she helps out with the basketball teams and throws basketballs in his face all day. And, you know, other things. But she sings real nice. Their dynamic is kind of like she stresses him out constantly to the point where he can't sleep. But when he listens to a recording of her singing and doesn't know that it's her, it instantly puts him to sleep because it relaxes him so much. He's in love with an idealized version of her that he does not realize is her. And hates the real her. But I think he's coming around to it. At least in the manga, it seemed like he was starting to, like, the dynamic was shifting a little bit where I was. Because he found a little thing that kind of, like, messed with her a little bit. And he was kind of taking advantage of that for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's, like, really slowly coming around to her. And she almost certainly really actually does have a thing for him. So.
Yeah, but she's having her tsundere moment of not wanting to admit it.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, he got kind of like... I don't know if jealous is the right word, but like concerned whenever he was at the festival and he saw Seo with Kashima, who again looks like a handsome young man.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like, is she with that guy? What is she trying to make, like... Oh, now she's going and hang out with me. She's trying to make him jealous. What's going on? I don't know. What were you saying, Envy?
It's been a long time, obviously, since I've seen the show. Does somebody have a crush on Chiyo too, or am I wrong? I could have sworn one of the characters.
You broke up a little bit. Who?
Does anybody have a crush on Chiyo? Like, I know Chiyo likes Nozaki, but I could have sworn somebody likes Chiyo.
No.
Okay. Never mind.
Well, I mean, she doesn't need someone having a crush on her. I think she has someone in mind very clearly that she wants to be with.
Yeah, I could have...
But, like, you know, I feel... to some degree, it's like... I don't know about Kashima, but I feel like other than Nozaki, everybody knows that she's into him.
Yeah.
And they're just like, come on, do something about it already. I don't know. That might be interesting. Who knows? Maybe at some point in a later chapter, someone will be into Chiyo, and Nozaki will have to deal with, you know, what would that be like?
Yeah.
I mean, there was one... Again, I'm trying to remember if this was in the manga or not. There was one point where they were, like, walking back to his place. That or they were, like, walking past her place or something. And she was kind of like, oh, so what are we working on today? He's like, oh, there's nothing to work on. I'm so used to walking back with you that I just, wanted to do that again.
So, yeah, it was more along the lines, he's like, oh, yeah, no, we're not doing anything today. I just wanted to walk with you. And she's just like, what? Like, silently freaking out inside her own head because she's just like, oh, what just happened? Poor girl.
Yep, you affected his daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nico Rin needs a pairing.
Oh, he does.
He does have one, but it wasn't shown in the anime, and it's mostly just a pairing, that he doesn't even know that it's actually this person. He's cell phone texting friends with Nozaki's younger brother, Mayu.
Yeah, I remember you guys mentioning that.
Yeah. I guess more spoilers a little bit. Like, he's like Nozaki, but like even less personality, and he's only into judo. It's the only thing he gives a shit about. And like, I think it started with like, he was trying to help his club like learn judo moves a little bit more, like certain throws and grapples and holds and stuff like that. And he had to draw them out, but he's not like used to drawing things, so he needed reference material. So the one thing that he had was his brother's manga art, so it became a series of him just like drawing pretty girls doing judo, grappling and holding, and it got very like the boys in the club were very into it. Let's say that. And so someone put that online and made kind of like a Tumblr or something out of it, like a blog.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Mikurin being he's a closet otaku as well, very into like figures and dating sims and stuff like that. He's very into that art. He's like, this is so cool. This looks great. And like, oh, you have a fan. Oh, text him back or whatever. So it kind of goes back and forth of, and this isn't his brother doing it. His brother's teammates were the ones who really started this whole thing.
Oh.
So Mikurin believes that he is talking to a girl who makes this cute art. And the judo team believes that they are talking to a high school girl who's into their art. Little do they know, everybody has a penis.
Mm-hmm.
So is he in a younger class than them?
I think he's like a grade or two. Like, is he 9th grade middle school?
So yeah, he is a 3rd year in middle school.
Yeah, so he's like right when Nozaki's a senior, he'll be a freshman. So it's not like there's a huge age gap here, but like it's just kind of like, yeah, this is gonna come to a head at some point.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that all goes. But apparently it's helped the Nozaki's brother learn how to socialize a little more. He can at least text people, even if he can't really speak to people.
That's good.
So, kind of funny. Yeah. I think there's a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it.
I highly recommend it. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else to say about it, anyone?
Not really.
Alrighty then. Well, we might as well talk about what we're doing next week, because we're going to be taking a break from the top 5s that we've been doing for a special occasion. Envy, you were the one who brought this up to me today, so what are we doing next week?
Well, speaking of, anime that makes us happy, next week, well, July 20th will be the 20th anniversary of Spirited Away. I'm pretty sure most anime fans know about that title. It's Studio Ghibli's most popular film. It's considered not only their best film, but like one of the best I'm just gonna say one of the best animated films of all time. Not just anime films, like one of the best animated films ever. Like
I think it's like the only anime that ever won best.
It's the only it's the only anime that
feature.
Yeah. Yep. Only one. And
still think Your Name is better than whatever won that year, but that's me. I think it was like, what was it? Zootopia?
I don't remember.
Yes.
Like Zootopia's good. I'm not knocking Zootopia. But
it's good, but Your Name
is better.
Well, Your Name and A Silent Voice weren't even nominated,
yeah, I know. It's some bullshit.
That's some political the bullshit. Academy.
No, I know it's them because like the only anime that ever gets nominated is Ghibli movies because they have a direct connection to Walt Disney. So, yeah, that's you have to know the mouse if you want to get anywhere near it.
But yeah, July 20th, 2001 was the original release date in Japan. Obviously, it came out in 2002 in America. That's why it won the Oscar in 2003. But yeah, Spirited Away, 20 years old. Hard to imagine. So,
I feel old. Anyone else feel old?
I ain't old.
Mean, I've been feeling old since I was like 20. So,
first off, didn't think that I'd make it past 20. So write that down.
Same.
Yeah, so we'll be watching, Spirited Away. Check out a classic. I think we all know we're going to enjoy it, but, come see why we enjoyed it. And then, we can talk about why you all out there wanted to enjoy it and stuff. And, if you have some time, also check out Nozaki while you're at it. Because, fun show. Fun, good show. Actually, there was one other thing that I wanted to mention. There was, like, another show on Netflix that kind of reminded me of this show. Have you guys heard of, The Disastrous Life of Psyche K?
Right, that's another one I recommended you.
It's I think it's based on, like, the same kind of concept. It's a 4-panel manga that's, like, just jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes. Also, like, they didn't dub the other seasons, but the first season has a really good dub as well. So, and...
It's very fun.
Yeah, we were laughing a lot at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but definitely felt in that same vein. So if you guys are looking for, if you're just watching and you haven't seen Nozaki, check out Nozaki on Netflix and then go check out Psyche K, or vice versa, whatever works. But if you guys were looking for a recommendation. So yeah.
Cool.
All right, so next week, Spirited Away, and then after that we'll go on to our other top 3s and some other things. Come join us then. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!